Sorry about the interruption.
No, not at all. I appreciate it. This is part two of our interview.
Oh, okay. I hope
with,
I'm giving you some kind of information. I don't know.
No, it's great. Thank you.
Yeah.
So we were talking about some of the different people that you knew or met up with in town, or that your husband met up and knew
Right.
in the community. And as the business of highway superintendent, were there any funny stories or weird things that came across?
Don was, like I said, a prankster, and he always was doing something. And one of the men that worked with him, Paul, oh my goodness, I can't remember, Stang, that was his name. He worked at Highway. And the one day Don took his lunchbox and filled it with something. I don't remember if it was rocks or sand or what it was. But when he took it home and his wife opened it, she said, "What the heck is this?" He said, "Don Mante." And then one day they were plowing snow, and what did they hit? They hit something, and the fender come off of the snowplow.
Oh my God!
So Don had to call, and Mr. Kruger was the boss then. He had to call him and tell him. So I guess the guys took the fender and put it on Don's pickup truck. When he went to go home, there's the fender on the back of the truck, and with a sign saying, "You did this." So there was always some kind of a prank going on over there at Highway. And the other kid, the one boy that Don was so good friends with was Glenn Darlack. And he was our paper boy. And when he, got older and got married, he asked Don to be his best man.
Oh, wow.
Can you believe a 60-some-year-old man in a wedding party? Oh, that was funny, believe me.
Right,
because he had to do a speech and all that, Oh, boy. Oh, laugh. Oh, what a wedding reception that was.
Wow.
I'm going off track again.
No, it's all good.
Yeah, and just giving you an idea of what a little double Don was. Funny, nothing's
naughty. He was
bad.
a naughty
guy.
Funny. Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, he would, him and Glenn were always playing pranks. The neighbor, that a couple houses down here, all the neighbors used to come over and talk to Don, and in Don's office was this great big stuffed lion. It was a lion, but it was a stuffed animal, but it stood yay high, right?
Wow.
Well, they put it in the highway truck one day, and they're going down the road. And he got a call from Mr. Kruger saying, "Oh, who's that man in that truck with you?" They thought it was somebody they picked up. It was the stuffed animal. And that was in Don's office. But it finally fell apart. We had to throw it out. But that poor animal got taken down to the neighbors one night and tied onto the flagpole and put it up in the air.
Oh, Lord.
And
this is a taxidermied animal? Right?
No. It was just a regular.
Oh, stuffed animal.
Yeah, stuffed animal.
Because knowing your
they
husband,
found it in the garbage or something. Somebody had thrown it out, and Don picked it up and put it in the truck.
I was about to say he might have bought it from.
No,
bought a taxidermy from somewhere.
It in somebody was getting rid of it.
Goodness
so
me.
That was in his office.
Because I had this image in my head of this horrible scene of some taxidermy thing being hauled up.
No. It was the stuff.
I was about to say, yeah.
Funny, though. That poor animal got draped around the neighborhood all over the place.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
We had a lot of fun. And all our neighbors are really good. Of course, they're different now. Some of them passed away.
And of course, it was a tough job being highway superintendent anyways, right? I mean, so you had to have a little humor.
Especially in the winter.
Yeah,
He'd be up at 2, 3 in the morning looking out the window. And the minute he seen a snowflake, off he went. I think now they do like different shifts now, where then all the guys got called in. They all had to go to work, no matter what. But now I'm pretty sure Paul's got to run different than, they all work different. So they don't all have to be out driving during
they don't suffer burnout either,
Right.
Because there's a lot of issues with trying
That's
to get
not
enough
easy
people.
job.
Right, it's enough, and they can't get a lot of people to do it in Niagara County right now.
Well, I went for a ride one time. Now you wouldn't be allowed, but I went with Don once in the snowplow. Oh my God, that's scary.
Oh my God!
And didn't we get too close? He was plowing by the Summit Mall. I got too close and down in the ditch. We had to call one of the other trucks to come in. Nothing happened, but it just
just sort of slid off into the.
But I got an idea what those guys are really brave, I guess is the word, and I don't know, but it's not easy.
I always
snow.
I always know, honestly, whenever I come back into the town of Wheatfield, because the roads are suddenly smoother.
Oh yeah,
they're better. I can see them, and I know I'm back in town again because.
Isn't that funny? Because
they do a good job. Yeah.
He got a letter from Niagara Wheatfield High School commending him on the excellent condition of the roads in Wheatfield.
Great.
He got a letter from St. James Church and Holy Ghost, all the same, thanking him for the excellent job. And one time a reporter talked to us about plowing snow or something. He said, how come people are always saying that Wheatfield's the only area that's ever plowed right? And I said, I don't know, you got to ask Don.
Yeah.
But he was always on top of it and just kept it, except for the blizzard of 77. I remember that.
Thank you for bringing that up. What was that like?
Up here. It was terrible.
So the drifts were over the windows here.
Don couldn't even get home. He wasn't home for maybe 2, 3, 4 days.
Wow.
Yeah, and finally he came home with the payloader, to dig a path to get here to see if everything was okay.
Wow.
And my cousin, Russell Kroll, he got stuck down the other end of the road here, and he knew where I lived, so he walked down here. So he was here with me, so that was...
Oh, good.
But Don said, oh, that's good. Somebody's, But that was something. I never forgot that.
What else do you recall of the Blizzard 77?
The Blizzard? Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
For example?
Trying to think. The snow. It was just terrible. The drifts.
Right.
It was a wind that I was driving home in it. I'd been out grocery shopping. It was nice out. I come out of the store and oh my God, it's snowing. I better get home. I went to Teal's Dairy was still at the corner up there on Ward Road and by Fred Holt Funeral Home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
another Teal's Dairy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And there was one in Shawnee, but we always got our milk there. So I stopped and got the milk. I'm coming down Ward Road and couldn't see a thing. Not a thing. It was so bad. Slid and hit the snowbank, but I was okay. And I came through. I thought, oh, I'm going to get through the intersection over here at Ward. And
it was that bad, that fast?
It was that bad. It was bad.
And fast, too.
Yeah. It was like last year's blizzard in Buffalo.
And blizzard of 2022.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I remember that very well, too. Only the 77 seems to have a more legendary... because the drifts and
about it.
The drifts are so huge and the
roads they couldn't get them open right away. I remember Nash Road was really bad. They had to dig that out after it finally calmed down. Jeepers. Yeah, that was a bad blizzard.
Yeah, really.
I would say.
My grandfather was in charge of half of the Bell plant over there at the time, the helicopter division, Clayton, Georgia.
Oh yeah.
And he was stuck over there for a couple of days.
A lot of people stuck.
They broke open the snack machine.
Yeah.
Just pilfered through that because they didn't have enough food.
That brings me another story. My brother, he lives on Saunders Settlement, on the corner of Saunders Settlement and what's that road?
Bear or
no, not. It's farther down towards Lockport.
Okay, I know what you mean.
Oh my gosh, can't think of the name of the darn road. It's a road you would know. But anyway, he lives there, and a lot of people got stuck, and there was a big article on TV about him taking in all these people, and then they ran out of food. Well, there was a Schwann's truck. Do you remember that company?
Oh, okay, you're right. Yeah.
And so he said, "Well, we're going to go in there and we're going to get all this food out of there, and we're going to use that." And they did. Yeah, they wrote a big story about that. Comstock, that's the road.
Oh,
yes, right on the corner in the big red brick house.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
So that was with that blizzard. That was terrible.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
And so, and any other last little anecdotes or stories that he came across that were either played on him or just strange incidents or repair jobs or circumstances where he's like, holy moly.
No, I don't think so. That was the main, he took on all these, he had a house full of people, but he has a big house. So,
right.
Yeah, a lot of people.
But I mean, like with Don Mante, were there any other stories of him at working at the highway garage?
Well, there was probably stuff I never heard about, I'm sure.
Oh, sure.
But it was never nothing destructive or hurtful to people or anything. It was always fun.
Right. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, of course,
Yeah.
but I mean, like in the task of taking care of the roads and things like that of the town, there must have been incidents where you'd have to respond to certain emergencies.
There was big controversy over plowing parking lots at the churches and the Legion and all that. And I don't know how they solved that. They don't let them do it anymore now.
Yeah, okay.
No, that's a no-no.
Oh, okay,
but there was a big controversy over that. And Don just said, well, they're in the community and they perform a service for people. Why can't we do it? But he didn't win.
like a little reciprocal. Yeah, exactly.
No, they don't do that no more. I don't know about the Legion, but I know the churches have to hire their own.
Have to hire their own these days,
Yeah.
So you mentioned Teal's Dairy, for example. What do you recall of other places like that, restaurants, the Summit Mall?
The Country Cafe over here that they just took down here a while ago.
Ward, Niagara Falls Boulevard. To eventually widen
My
the
granddaughter was the manager there. And they wrote a story about her one time that place had ghosts.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. She experienced whatever happened there. Because they put that, the Gazette ran a big story on that.
It was Dubell's once.
Yeah.
Before.
Yes,
long ago.
store.
Right. You recall going there?
Oh, yeah. We went there a lot. In fact, Don's cousin, he was speeding, and I guess they said he was only 18 years old, I think. He his car rolled over and hit the store, but he got killed. Yeah.
Wow.
That was done. I remember Dubell's real well.
Wow.
And then Country Cafe, the restaurant, we went there a lot.
I went there a number of times.
So good.
It was great, yeah.
Yeah.
The Butells, I think, ran.
Yeah.
I remember Mike Butel was in charge of the cafeteria or food service over at Nye County Community College.
I think he moved away, didn't he?
Yeah,
he lives in...
I think Florida, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
he told me.
My granddaughter is still in touch with him.
He told me he was going to move to Florida because the wife wanted to get out of the area, really. And so he kind of reluctantly packed up the business there at Country Cafe. He also pointed out the fact that the Tim Hortons and the Duncans was down the way, and he says, I can't really compete with that kind of thing.
No.
And I simply said, well, I'm here now.
Yeah,
maybe I could tip I told him maybe I could tip the balance,
Yeah.
Because I was there a few times at least.
They had such good food.
Oh, yeah, the portions were great, too. Love the French toast.
I'm talking about Joyelle when I say my granddaughter. You know who Joyelle is. She was the manager there for years, and now she's over at Country Cottage.
Yeah.
Now they got her opening and doing everything over there now.
It's another historic business in the area.
Oh, Country Cottage, yeah.
I mean, it's technically in Pendleton, but people in Wheatfield go there, all the time.
Well, oh gosh, yeah. A lot of the seniors go there all the time.
It's on Town Line Road.
Yep.
Right.
Beach Ridge and Town Line, Town Line, really. But that's about. I would say that's one of the most popular restaurants in Wheatville right now.
Yeah, I'm going to be going there again soon. And I always go to Salisa's Diner. Over there on across from the Bell Plant.
Yeah, we used to go there a lot too.
Of course,
fish fries.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Of course, I used to go to Tina's Diner in Sanborn. That was around for a while.
We went there too a lot. My great-grandson got to be quite popular down there. He would help people, and he was only like maybe 12 years old.
So at the end of this street was the Creekside.
Oh, yeah.
Did you remember that?
Yes, we went there too. They had good food.
Yeah.
And down the road on the boulevard was another restaurant. They were well known for their hamburgers.
Taggart's, maybe?
Taggart's.
Taggart's, yeah.
That's it. See, boy, you must have really been checking out stuff.
Oh, I've been learning. Learning as my office comes with a bunch of old tax assessment records for the town. And seeing these different buildings first, because I scanned them all. I scanned them front and back and the pictures separately in some cases because I wanted to make sure that people could really see the images.
Right.
And at Willis Retzlaff.
Willis and Don were very good friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they talked about their garden. Don always, this whole area over here was always a garden, tomatoes, corn, you name it. Don was an outside person.
Yeah, me too.
You remember Paul Kozad?
Yes, absolutely. He like Don McSwan. They were friends of my father's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, Paul wrote a beautiful poem when Don died.
Wow.
I don't have it handy right now, but sometime I'll have to show it to you.
I'd love to see that.
Something. Oh my goodness.
Kozad was
perfect. Perfect. Because Don was a flannel shirt man. And at his funeral, that's what he had on. And we said right away when he died, gotta put the flannel shirt. Nice. So that's what he wore.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kozad is the founder of the original Veterans Monument Project. Yeah, that Richard Muscatello and later on Ed Sturgeon would take on.
And, they were all prominent at that time. There was quite active in the town.
And Tom Contact.
Tom's
has
doing a
forwarded
good job.
that and completed on their behalf and all the other veterans and so forth. Yeah, absolutely. And, well, we're great friends. Tom Contact, the Contacts, both of them. He and Rita were friends of my father's as well. They were all part of the. They're all part of the military.
I'm in the garden club.
Thing,
I'm charter member in the garden club.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and Rita does all our letters and stuff if we need anything printed and whatever.
Yeah, she's the one that done so much with the
that sign.
Yes. Oh, yeah. The wall there on the remaking that.
There. Yeah, I remember that.
They're going to make more of them, and I think they're going to look great along the boulevard. And Tom did the veterans thing and so forth. I'm on the enhancement committee, so I stay. I've been I've been a lot of committees.
Yeah, well, that's me. I was into everything.
Me too.
I belonged to Burkholz Auxiliary too for 20. No, it's more than 25. I think it's about 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
I went there first because at the time, Johnsburg's my fire district here, where I live here. If something happened, they would be the ones. That's why I belong there. But at the time, you had to have someone in the fire company to become a member.
Mm-hmm.
And Don he never got into was anything with the fire companies, joining, to do anything. And so I joined Burkholz because they let you. It was anybody in Niagara County with them, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So I joined over there. And right after that, Johnsburg changed their rules. And you could join without having a member. I said, well, I just joined Burkholz. I can't be nasty now and say to them, goodbye, I'm done with you. So I stayed with them too. In fact, tonight is auxiliary meeting.
Right. For
Burkholz.
Burkholz, right? Yeah. I actually took pictures of their bake sale at one point, and those pictures did end up in the Tribune at the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just.
I used to work the bake sales, but now I can't because they do everything outside now, and since the COVID.
Too cold,
Yeah, it's drive up and get your Well, probably no. They said they were going to have a tent outside for the winter. I don't know.
We'll see. We gotta be careful. I know,
but you got to drive up now and get your chowder. Their chowder's the second. Our chowder's the first Saturday. Theirs is the second Saturday.
Right.
Yeah.
For that.
Yeah. So I belong to all that, and I belong to the Garden Club, Democratic Club. I don't know. I belong to a lot of stuff.
Well, it's pretty lucky in that regard, obviously. And
yeah.
So we were talking about Taggart's and other spots along the boulevard.
Yeah.
What other businesses are like Sawyer? What other places?
Sawyer Creek over here on the corner. They got good fish fries too.
Oh yeah, I love them there. I go to there. I go to the fish fry there.
Yeah.
I even called into WBEN the one time, and where they were talking about who's got the best fish fry in the area,
there you go.
I talked about Sawyer on the air, and I told them that I like going there.
Well, I know one of the waitress that's been there for years, Marty Chabelle's wife. You might have heard of the Chabelle name, I'm sure.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, they were around in town quite a bit years ago. I think they had a cement business or some kind of business. I don't remember now. But she's been there for years. But they got the best fish. I agree.
Yeah.
Their fish fries are really...
I tend to have that with a French onion soup.
Yeah.
Because I like it there too.
Yeah.
And our Municipal Historians group, it's a collection of different historians all over Niagara County, and we pick certain locations in certain towns to have our annual Christmas lunch or dinner, and we through my suggestion, we've had 2 of those Christmas meetings at Sawyer.
Oh, that's
because
good.
I want to be able to. I was vice president then of the group too. I'm still part of it, and I basically said I think one of the criteria, ideally, is that when we go have a meeting or something like that, it should be to help patron a historic building. It helps keep it going.
And Wiegand owned it before that.
Yeah, the Wiegans. Well,
Wiegans. I remember all them real well.
Now, what were they like?
Very nice, friendly people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I didn't know all of them real well. I knew Bob. I think he's still alive, if I remember right, Bob Wiegand. His mother was in our seniors for a long time.
Wow.
Well, she's gone too. Everybody's gone.
well.
Yeah. But those kind of families were all the ones that were, that I seen a lot of.
Do you remember other people up and down the boulevard? Other farms like that? Like Eddie Deal? Edward Deal?
I remember the name. My brothers both worked for Teal's Oil Company.
Oh, okay, Teal's.
Oh, yeah, for years. And my youngest brother's son has got his own business now. Crawls heating and oil.
Oh,
so I
really?
have a family. I get a family discount, he calls it. Whenever anything happens with the furnace or the air conditioner, I'm like, Robbie. And then my other nephew, my other brother's son, is in all kinds of business. He's got his own business, and my grandson works for him on the weekends. So we got quite an active family.
Yeah, well, I'll say. Well, and it must be a tradition passed down, obviously, over the years. Sure.
Yeah, because my brothers went to Teal's right after high school. And like my grandson, he works for Roselle, Gary DiMatteo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
Well, his boss is, he lives up here on Stieg Road. The heck's his name? Is right across the street from Joelle. I can't think. But anyway, Eddie, my grandson, they do all the siding on all the houses and that now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense then.
Those great big huge houses on Ward Road, they did all that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Eagle Chase, they've done all that.
Sure.
And all the ones, wherever DiMatteo builds.
Oh, sure.
Well, right down the road here, see that great big huge house way in the back?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think my grandson said that.
I can see it from where I live. Actually,
they did all the siding on it.
I was noticing there were what I call new lights, and
yeah.
at night I'm
my
because
goodness.
I know that things happen, but I don't necessarily see until I'm like,
the guy,
it must be the new house back
Don
there.
Wallace, you know Don.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's his son that owns that house.
Wow.
And Joelle used to babysit him. That's how it's all connected through the years,
Well, I was just going to ask you too, since we're talking about changes. What are things in the town that have changed that you found to be illustrative or impressive to the community? Like what's been the things that have changed that impressed you over the years?
And the park, I think Fairmont Park is a beautiful park. Mm-hmm. And they've done a lot of work up there. Mm-hmm. And every time I drive by, I say, Don dug that, that
right.
Yeah.
He made and probably put the dirt as the sledding hill.
Yeah.
He made the sledding
hill.
They
had that, yeah.
The toboggan.
That got a little bit too dangerous, I think, safety wise. They had to
the toboggan apparatus up there,
But I think that's one of our main focal points in the town is that park.
And that cemetery that's there too.
Yeah, that's a really old. Yeah. Real old.
I take care of it with for the with regards to like the flags and the things on them and all that, because we have at least 2 Civil War veterans buried there, and there are others there that are certainly there. So those are the 2 that we absolutely know of because that they still have their markers and all that. But it was a long, interesting story. I talked to Winston about that. We talked about it.
Talking about that cemetery, there used to be a house way years ago.
Right.
That's where Don was born. In that house, his mother and Shears. Shears was Don's parents' last name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they lived on Nash Road.
Don Mante was born?
Yeah, in that house.
In that house, really?
Way back in 1936, October 8th was his birthday.
Goodness, wow.
Yeah, he was born in that house. Of course, the house is gone now.
I go the Whitcups took over.
I think
eventually,
so.
Right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't they? Because I'm trying to figure that house featured prominently in the late 60s and 70s. We were trying to figure out what to do with the area, and it sat where
that was when they were doing the park. It got torn down, I think.
Yeah, it sat roughly where the garden feature is facing onto Nash Road, kind of toward the corner. I think closer to the corner.
It was more to the corner.
Right, I kind of figured that. Yeah.
It's big. I can't remember it too awful much anymore because it was so long ago. But.
Yeah. And Stieg Road itself was relatively new at the time. Yeah. And of course, Lemke was relatively new at the time. Do you recall, because you've lived on Eric Road here?
Over 50 years.
Over 50 years. And so
I can't